Good day, YouTube. It is the 28th of October, 2023, and welcome back to episode 3. This is a 1955 Cushman Truckster. I really don't know what to call this thing that we're building, but we're calling it a pit toolbox or a pit box that drives by itself. That's what we're doing so far. So the first video kind of introduced you to the project. We started tearing the fenders off. Really wanted to get started on the build. So episode 2, we built this structure on the back. It's going to house tools and things. Go back to those videos and check those out. We'll get them on a playlist labeled 55 Truckster. So this is a side. It'll be covered in aluminum. There'll be one more support here before it's done. And these, because they're not quite 6 feet high, will go over center with a gas shock, and it will support itself up there. If it's not too heavy, I'll balance it on my head. And then these are work surfaces or benches that will come down and function as a bench. So this will be filled in with wood. Everything will be painted. Gas struts be here and so forth. So that's what we're doing. But today we are building the bed slide, the draw out tool drawer. So to start off the morning, I built this, well, I haven't even built it, I've just cut it and laid it in place. This framework so that I have a couple rails on the bottom bed of this. Bed's in pretty good shape for as old as it is. What is this thing, 70 years old? Pretty close. Pretty good shape. But to roll something in and out, wanted something a little more straight than that. There's also a couple bolts up in the front, but roughly here and here, that bolt this bed down. When we get around to like sandblasting this thing, get ready to paint it, we'll get those bolts cut out of there, put new bolts in, and we can go through this steel here and here, whoops, here and here-ish, and kind of bolt that down. Other than that, it's just going to kind of sit there. So I'm going to get in and weld that in place together, but not weld it to the body or anything. And I wanted something that would slide in and out. I want it to roll pretty easily. So I've looked at bed slides. Horribly expensive. They don't make anything anywhere near this size. This is roughly 34 by 34.5 inches square. So I decided, okay, whatever it is I need to build it. And I don't want to spend like $1 million on it. So let's design something to use materials that I have or can get and see what we come up with. So I had this angle. I got it from a last project I did before I retired. And I thought, if I had some wheels that I could attach to something to slide in and out and run on that rail, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But I don't want to lose that height. So I'm going to build something that goes up about this high underneath these bolts that I need to take on and off if I ever want to remove this rack. So the sides of this are going to be this high. Something could still be higher than that by a few inches, this space here. But the bed slide itself can be about this high, just under these bolts. I don't want to lose this space. That's a big percentage. So what if that wheel could just sit a little bit below, be kind of a low rider, slide in and out. Okay, are you seeing where I'm headed? Let me show you my idea. This will be the metal framework of the bed slide. Okay, look at that. So I took a piece of the angle. I marked these holes out where I thought they would do best. I took a three-quarter conduit size, so 1 1/8 inch hole saw, and drilled 2 holes in them, connected them together, welded that piece of steel on, put it in the drill press, drilled some holes all the way through for a 1/4 inch bolt that will be an axle, and put this wheel in. Now I'm going to, like this, just put some washer spacers in to keep that centered in that cutout. See there? Looks good, right? and that'll be my roller from this side. So I'm only losing just a little bit of height. And then we'll put some boards across here, or cut a piece of plywood. Not sure what that looks like. We'll get this all in, then I'll figure out the next piece. I want to keep it close to this side too, so I don't want to put a nut here. So I think I'm just going to bob these off, weld it, grind it a little bit, so that I have very little sticking out on this side, so that I don't lose any width either. So these caster wheels were $3.49 a piece at Harbor Freight. Got 6 of them. These are the 3 I've taken apart, and I just took a grinder to the rivet that went through, well, you can see here, and then took the wheels out. We'll scrap the rest to build these. So I got one more of these to build. I've got it cut, but I still got to do all the work. Got to finish putting this one back together, cut the bolts, weld it, grind it. This will be one side. We'll do another side. We'll make a blank for the front and the rear, get that welded together, and that will be the base. So that will be the bottom. And on a lot of bed slides, that's really all you have, and maybe all you need. I've had bed slides in all my company trucks for like the last 15, 20 years or something. So it's been pretty fun. So I appreciate bed slides. You can just open the tailgate and draw this out. We'll put a limit strap on it so this thing doesn't come out forever. Because obviously you could pull it out too far and end up smashing your toes. So I figured this could come out a little over halfway, as long as we keep the back 2 wheels not running off the tailgate. Should be fine. But again, we'll just put a limit strap on it so it doesn't come out too far. We'll just shove it in and then put tailgate up. So I want to make this tight enough that it doesn't rattle around, banging back and forth as you start and stop. So that's what we're building. I'll bring you back when got this welded up and we've got the base welded up, and then we'll figure out what to do for uprights. Probably more of this angle, because I've got, there's 3 8-foot pieces of it right there. We'll come up in the corners with angle. We'll make another frame like this for the top or something and go from there. Sounds good? I like the idea I came up with. Hope you do. So this is the bed slide video for the 55 Truckster. Bring you back a little bit. All right, I've been working, not very hard, but I've been working, and we got both of these built. So I just run the bolt all the way through, cut it off, welded it, ground it down. So these will fit up tight against the side. So let's go put it in. All right, as you can see, I have this frame all welded. It came out good. I have the other set of rollers already in place. We can put these in place. Like so. And now we need to build our angle pieces to connect those together so that they run well. So it's just coming together. It's very nice. Pretty happy about this, actually. The whole concept, the whole idea has just been in my brain for months. Literally, how was I going to do this? So I'm glad this came together. So I think we'll take the time to cut some pieces of angle and notch them in here, okay, so they fit well. Then we'll tack them in place. Well, probably could weld them in back here, won't hurt anything. We tack them, then weld them. Should be good to go. So what do you think? Pretty good little idea, I think. I have basically scrap metal in it that I have nothing invested in. And see, these were $3.50, so I got about $21 in wheels. So looking good. So let me get these measured, get these cut, fit, and tacked, and that will be the base. Then we'll build some uprights. Probably just put angle right on the top here, up short, come up here. We're going to stay below these, and then we'll build a top rail out of something, and we'll go from there. Here we go. All right, we got this thing in. It is the next morning actually, and still my frame that sits in the bed itself isn't bolted down yet, but anyway. Fits nice and tight, and that was the point. Let me back up a minute. So yeah, we should be able to pull this all the way out onto the tailgate. Got a kind of a backwards balance, that's the point. And we just slide it back in. So now we're going to build some sides for this thing. I think I'm just going to use this angle and make 4 corners. So we'll make it something like that. Okay, I'll pull it out of here to work on that. I just have most of it tacked together. We're going to make it 7 inches high, which will come up just underneath all these bolts that hold this rack together. And then we'll just make a rail out of this angle across the top. So it'll be strong. We can bolt some boards between the corners, 2, 3, 4, and go from there. So I'm going to pull this out of here, set it over on a work surface, and we'll build the 4 corners, build the top rail, and put it back in. Making progress. Here we go. Guys, it's probably a couple days later. This is what I have done so far. I have the corner pieces cut. I just kind of set it back in. Everything is fully welded now. If I do this in the middle, it rolls out pretty good. So be able to get this out, you know, really those wheels can come out clear onto the tailgate. So pretty good. And it fits tight, and that's the point. Didn't want it flopping around, but I want it to draw out pretty easily. So what I've decided to do is not to make a metal top rail for this, but I'm gonna need to buy a sheet of plywood anyway, and somehow I've got to deck this, and I've got to deck this, and I might as well cut some sides for this out of plywood. Like steel wood's real expensive anymore, and you know, I'm just watching my dollars on this thing a little bit, and trying to build it as right as I can. And I think plywood is the right way. There is a bargain center out here. I should go out there in case there's something I'm not thinking of. But I think plywood sides, plywood bottom, and then I got to do this plywood deck. So I think that'll fit in a 8-foot piece of plywood. So anyway, that's what we're shooting for. So probably not going to get the wood anytime real soon, because I really want to do the metal part of all of this. So I think we're going to end the video for the bed slide here. It's built. We just got to do the wood, and that'll come later. I am going to do wood inserts for these drop down tables as well. So I'll have to sit down and sketch all this out and see how that fits in a sheet of 3/4 plywood and kind of go from there. So yeah, stay tuned for other videos. We've got some parts in, so we're going to start getting the struts and magnetic catches and stuff on these doors, and all kinds of fun. So guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments. Thumbs up on the way out, please. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Hit that bell notification so you can come back and catch other videos on this and other fun things through the winter. And we'll see you on the next video.